Hey there, Toolaholic. Today we're going to do a review of the Milwaukee Fuel battery framing gun. One of the nice things about this gun is it'll actually shoot 3.5-inch nails, which if you read the nailing pattern specs on laminating LVLs for beam, 3.5 inches is what you're actually supposed to be using. You can use 3.25, which pretty much everyone around here uses, so you can't actually buy 3.5-inch nails here, and no one stocks them, but it's nice that it can actually do it. So you can use 3.25 with a different pattern using more nails, and you have to use galvanized ring shanks. So for the battery, you're going to want to use a 5-hour XC battery. It doesn't really run as well on a smaller battery, and on a bigger battery you're just adding extra weight. The one 5-hour battery will shoot nails almost a whole day, but definitely until lunchtime, and you can put a new battery in at lunchtime is a good plan instead of running out part way. This thing is heavy. It is a heavy gun. It weighs like almost 15 pounds. It's like weighs about twice as much as an air gun or twice as much as a pass load gun. On top of that, the recoil on it is pretty harsh. So if you don't have fantastically strong shoulders, then you can use one of these for a little while, and you will. It's definitely hard on your shoulders. It's a heavy gun, but being battery and having no airline, you don't have to worry about setting up a compressor, running 100 or 200 feet of airline, tripping over everybody else's fucking airline, having your airline get hung up on something and not being able to reach what you're doing. Having a battery gun is really nice compared to an air gun. It comes with this the smaller clip, which it makes it more compact. It'll fit into more spaces, but the small clip is pretty irritating. Why is it irritating? Well, you can't put a new strip of nails into the small clip until you're about 3 nails from being empty. I wish it was at least 5 nails longer before you could put a new strip of nails in, because like you're nailing some stuff, finish what you're nailing, look at your gun and you see, oh, I'm almost out, I'll add a strip. No, I can't. There's more than 3 nails left to shoot. The extended clip is not cheap. It's about $100. Adds bulk, so it can't get in quite as small spaces and adds a bit more weight, but it's really nice to have on the gun. It takes a little bit of work to change it out. It does come with an Allen wrench that goes right in here, and that Allen wrench will give you the tools to change out the clip or magazine, whatever you want to call it, and it'll also give you it also lets you open it up in case you get a nail jammed in there really horribly. As you can see by the fact that there's no Allen wrench sitting in there, it falls out pretty easily, so you're going to want to put it away somewhere. It's got both a rafter hook and a belt hook. So this rafter hook's fantastic. It hangs on any piece of 2x really easily. It balances well and doesn't fall off of things very easily. The belt hook, it'll work in a pinch. If you're not wearing suspenders, it'll pull your pants down and everyone will think you're a plumber because it's such a heavy gun. It's 30-degree gun. It'll shoot up to 34-degree nails. A lot of people wonder, oh, why is it a 30-degree gun? Why not just shoot straight? 3.25-inch nails, which are what you're going to usually use if you're going to nail together standard framing lumber. You have a piece of lumber here, 2 pieces of lumber here that are 3 inches if you go straight across. And if you're shooting straight across, then your nail is going to stick out on the end 1/4 of an inch. But when you're laminating a beam together, you don't want to nail straight. You want to nail at an angle. So this, when you nail from this side, it goes on an angle that way. You nail from that side, and it goes on an angle that way. And that really locks together your laminated beam in an X. Makes it a whole lot stronger, and the 3.25-inch nails shoot right to the end of that when you're shooting at 30 degrees. In order to shoot so that you know you're at 30 degrees, the angle of the clip here lets you know that. So when you hold your gun, so your clip is sitting flush with your material, you're nailing at 30 degrees. Advantages that this cordless gun has over the pass load guns is pass load gun, you're going to spend about 20 bucks in gas for every 1,000 nails you shoot. This, you just got to plug in your battery and your battery is going to shoot way more than 1,000. The Milwaukee gun does a lot better in the cold than the pass load guns. The pass load guns, the gas frosts up. Cleaning, you don't have to clean them. They're great. You can drop them in the mud, treat them like shit. It's built really tough. I've dropped it off of things, not this one, but the one I had before. This gun looks pretty new and shiny, doesn't it? How can this be a long-term review if this gun's all shiny and new looking? Well, this is my second one. The first one, apparently the closed nitrogen system, it loses gas eventually or something happens. It could be because I'm Canadian and I've been framing in -30, but eventually the gun gets weaker and doesn't drive the nails as well. This is Milwaukee, so Milwaukee warranty is great. You don't need a receipt. 5-year warranty. They'll just go off your serial number on the tool, bring it into a repair shop. So that's what I did. When mine got weak, I brought it in and they said they had to send it away and for a free service, because apparently it's a common problem that happens with these. And they just gave me a whole new tool instead of servicing it, so I got a brand new one. Even with that issue, I'd absolutely still choose this gun over any of the other battery framing guns, like the Hitachi one or the DeWalt one. So there's no ramp up, it shoots nails right away. So there's no flywheel that has to ramp up. Your power button you have to push and hold for a bit, and that'll get you turned on into select fire mode, which is only for pansies. And then you got to push the mode button, switch it over to bump fire, and that'll let you shoot out a window or put a nail through your thumb. I've done both of those with this gun. Link in the description to the shooting a nail through my thumb if you want to see that. How reliably does this shoot? Every single nail that you shoot with this gun is going to be buried to the depth that you set it at. It is amazingly reliable. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't run short of air like you will with an air gun where you outrun your compressor. It's fast. You can fire 5 nails per second in the wrong place with it with no problem. I'll fire a couple here just to say that we shot something with it. As you can see, shoots great, and we'll hold those up. They're all buried exactly the same amount. This gun will bury nails. It'll bury galvanized ring shanks, which are the hardest nails to shoot, into frozen LVL, which is a hard material to shoot nails into. It'll bury them and sink them every time, just like it did in those 2 pieces of spruce. The angles are pretty good. You can get it into most of the places where you need to shoot things. The way they've designed it, the angles work out pretty good. It's got wear pads on it. It actually stands up on its own. Well, it doesn't stand up that way, but it stands up on its face nicely there. It'll lay on its side. You can lay it on its other side. Depth adjustment dial right up here at the top. A nice 3-dimensional diagram to show which direction is which, and the dial isn't buried anywhere. Can't get at it. It's really easy to get at, really easy to adjust. You can do it with gloves on, which is good. The plunger spike is not your conventional round plunger spike. These little barbs on the corner grab for toenails. Kind of would rather have a round plunger spike, but this does work really well. It comes with a little plastic cover for your plunger spike if you want to shoot nails without marring. I've never had a need to do that, so I don't even know where it is. Overall, what do I think of this gun? Well, it's not cheap. It's, if you buy the kit, which comes with a 5-hour battery and a charger and the regular size clip, you're about 750 bucks. Buy the extended clip, now you're up to 850 bucks. You can buy an air gun for a lot cheaper than that, but this isn't an air gun, battery one. It's relatively comparable to the other battery guns. Definitely cheaper to run than the pass load guns. Doesn't have the ramp up of the fly. One of the other cool features that you get on a battery gun, and this one in particular that you don't get on an air gun, is it's got this cool little light on it. So if you're doing stuff down in the basement, you can't see what you're doing, or the end of the day and it's getting dark, you know, a little light that'll illuminate what you're shooting at, so that you can, kind of robs you of your excuses of shooting things in the wrong place or putting a nail through your thumb or a window, but it's still kind of nice to have. If you leave it sitting, it'll shut off eventually. First thing it'll do, it'll go from bump fire to select fire. So if you just leave it sitting when it's turned on, it doesn't really drain any battery. But if you leave it sitting turned on for, I think, about half an hour or something like that, if you set it down or if you come back from lunch, it's going to be in select fire. It might irritate you a little bit, and if you leave it longer, it'll shut off, and that might irritate you a little bit more. Some people think it's a little irritating that you got to turn it on, and then you got to turn it over to bump fire every time when you want to start going, instead of just having it turn on and be in bump fire mode already. But as I've shown, when you're in bump fire mode, you don't always shoot the things that you want to shoot, so it's probably a good idea that they did that. So, what's the overall verdict on the framing gun? It's expensive, it's heavy, totally worth it. Primarily for the fact that it shoots the nails to the depth you want every single time. The only time that it doesn't shoot a nail to the depth you want is user error. You hit it off on a funny angle, pulled the trigger at the wrong time, whatever. Definitely expensive. $750 to buy it in a kit that comes with a 5-hour battery and a charger with the regular size clip. Another $100. For the extended clips, you're $850. You can buy an air gun for a quarter of that price almost, but then you need a compressor, you need to run an air line and trip over it, and all the rest of that bullshit. So definitely recommend this gun.
If you enjoyed this review or found it useful, be sure to check out my channel for more cool tool reviews and more tool haul. If you hated this review or thought it was dumb, then feel free to call me an idiot in the comments. I'll be posting new tool reviews often, so be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell.